Hello everybody, this is Gregory with How I Lost Over 100 Pounds and I've kept it off for 30 plus years, where there should be no hesitance in your weight loss and weight maintenance. Today we're going to continue reflections of a weight loss warrior and talk about the invisible years. Now before we begin, if you need help with weight loss, contact me through the Clarity FM link found here in the episode notes. Also check out my website, Naturopathic Earth, which has tons of recipes and articles, my podcast, The Awakened Man, my 2 books, and if you appreciate my content, easiest thing to do is smash the like button, hit the notification button, and subscribe. And then if you really like my content, please make a little donation via PayPal. All right, so we've done some episodes on kind of reflections of the overall 30 plus years of keeping the weight off, like the imposter syndrome and survivor's guilt. Again, I recommend you watch these in order. If not, go back and check those out. We're going back to chronology here. So now about 10 years post-weight loss, it's early 2000s. I've just gotten married and we're living in Houston. And then eventually I go and get my doctoral degree in Austin. And then we're over there for a little while, for 3 years. And then we come back and we move to San Antonio. And then we're there up until my father's death. So I want to cover this kind of 7-year period. And the funny thing about it's like when you live a long life, and look, I'm not 80, I'm 48, but you look back at a lot of segments of your life, like you really don't have a lot of memories, right? You think of just 365 days a year and just kind of the blur that is so much of that. And so I like to call this the invisible years vis-a-vis weight loss and management, because it was pretty much the same thing I was doing the entire time. If you go to the episode I did about my college years, how I was starving during the week and binging on the weekend, and same for kind of in the Alaska years. This period was a time of kind of, I would say, normalcy on some level, but still disordered eating. So most of the days I would go work out in the morning, whether I was in Houston working a regular job, or I was at the PhD program in Austin, or when we came back here to San Antonio. I kind of had like a routine where I would work out in the morning. During this time, I was running. I would run at Town Lake. If you guys have ever been in Austin, it's a beautiful trail there, and I would run there at Town Lake. And I do remember running with my shirt on still at that point. But there was a time where I started rowing. That's when I took up rowing, was around 2005, 2006, because I belonged to a gym that had a rower and I loved rowing. And I was doing a little of that, doing a little elliptical. But I would run in the morning, 5 miles like I typically did. And then that almost gave me the justification to eat poorly the other time, the rest of the day. And so like my experiences in Alaska, it was closet eating. So I remember lots of times just driving to Dairy Queen and getting 5 Blizzards and going to my church parking lot where there was no one around and just eating that. Or getting Big Macs. And I remember that I would feel so full, and lots of times after eating I would take a walk. And then I would go home and see my wife and play it off, right? Like I didn't eat poorly. So it was certainly a calorie in, calorie out kind of life that I had during this time. It was all just in and out, in and out. And any injury would have sidelined this, but the calorie in, calorie out kind of worked for quite some time, for like 10 years during this time, where I was just exercising a lot. I would take the evening walk, exercise a lot, but then followed by very disordered eating and then hiding it from my wife the best that I could. And I just pretty much did this all through those 7-8 years. I don't have anything unique from that time. In the next episode, I probably will talk about my PhD program and why I bailed from that, because that kind of stems from my childhood issues. But it was kind of just a strange time where some of you maybe can relate to this. You just don't really remember a lot of big things going on. But I just wasn't eating well. But in terms of the overall goal, the overall result and goal was I was still size 34 waist pretty much, and staying in shape, even though I was probably rotting my insides to kingdom come. But at this point, I'm still like, now I'm 13 years, 15 years post weight loss, and I'm still healthy and I'm still doing well. So ultimately, that's kind of like what mattered, and I didn't really care that my eating was disordered. I think on one level, I probably cared, but not enough, kind of like when I was a child, not enough to stop it, because I didn't really know how to stop it. I would eat breakfast at 5 in the morning and then just eat relatively well and then go binge in the afternoon, typically right before 5 o'clock before I went home. But I didn't know another rubric aside from calorie in, calorie out. That's all I knew. But if I look at the objective results, it was still working for my life. So the next episode, we'll talk about my panic attacks in my doctoral program, and then we'll talk about my father's death, which led to my second big weight gain. All right, guys, post in the comments. I'd like to hear from you. Hit the notification, subscribe, and share button. Until next time, take care. God bless and pray.